Anime is no stranger to transfer students. We've had people burn someone to a crisp just to show up as a new kid in the class of the only witness out there. However, some shows take an entirely different approach to the whole concept, with the OP transfer not living up to the image everyone has of him in their heads, at least at the very beginning. So, let's get ready to get deceived with 10 of these titles where the overpowered MC is a transfer student who seems weak. Number 10, Quality Code.
まだ来るの。がっつきすぎキモい。問題ない。一撃で決める。タイミングは私が。姫はいつも通りにぶちかます。
Imagine, you're chilling outside on your day off, without a care in the world. Everything's going great. Perfect, to be exact. However, suddenly, the planet literally turns upside down on you, with trees tearing up and all kinds of creatures popping out of nowhere, making you pinch yourself all over in order to make your lazy ass wake up ASAP. That does sound like a nightmare, to be honest. Quality Code is just that, with the kids having a taste of the cryogenic freeze that reminds us of the good old Cowboy Bebop days. Now with the kids back in action after what seems like an eternity to them, the cold sure did them the double, with powers called worlds making every other person stand out all the more. However, the characters are what makes the show land a spot on the list, and with the unexpected events that mark the arrival of our rather unexpected transfer, this show doesn't deserve the low score for sure, but I'll let you be the judge to that statement. Number 9, Tokyo Majin. In case you want that 2000s action to come back, that nostalgia to hit you right in the face, then this is your thing. The anime, based on a manga, based on a video game from the 90s, it sure feels like we have a new Inception concept on our hands. However, with Tokyo swarming with all these monsters to keep them busy, there's a much more hideous force at play in the shadows just waiting for that current call. However, with Tatsuma Hiyu and the other members having all these powers awaken all of a sudden, neither the demons nor this mysterious figure seems to be that much of a challenge now, does it? Adrenaline kicking, mysterious, and packed with all the demons you can hate all day, Tokyo Majin is a must-watch to witness the golden action once more. Number 8, Noblesse. I mean, who can forget this webtoon masterpiece that just didn't perform on the screen the way we expected? With Rai now in Yiran High School to stay away from the Union, peace won't last long for him, considering how the Union just wants their hands on him as soon as possible. Rai's transfer student deception won't be all that get you hooked onto the show, with the title introducing vital names one after another, something that makes everything all the more interesting and entertaining all the time. With N21 and weird names with a K and a J in them, Rai's school life isn't going to be anything he ever expected, considering how the Union and the people he encounters one by one are going to make things rather difficult for him, to say the very least. Number 7, Tenho Tenge. Featuring the school we wanted to go to when we were kids, Tenho Tenge is the dream come true for the child inside of us, the child who aspired to be the strongest fighter there ever was. I mean, Soichiro Nagi and Bob Makihara sure are with us on this one, cause their sole purpose of enrolling into high school is to become the best fighters the students have to offer. But the duo might have bitten more than what they can chew, with the school literally focused on bringing martial arts back to life, and with upperclassmen stopping them in their tracks right away. Things aren't looking good for them at all. However, those with the heart and the will to do something would end up doing it nonetheless. So let's wait and watch what this title has to offer. I mean, that's all we can do. Number 6, My Next Life as a Villainess.
Katarina, 少し私の部屋で話をしましょうか。
Now, when it comes to getting reincarnated into this game world, we're expecting to assume the role of the strongest character there is. The main antagonist makes one of the best choices there are, but when the game is centered around making the bad guy bite the dust no matter what cheat code is in place, is this even a fair game anymore? However, with Katarina Klaus being the literal master of the game called Fortune Lover, she must be cautious to stall the impending doom that awaits her. With all the characters in the mix and Katarina being as prudent and cautious as one can get, this is hilarious, unique, and enjoyable to the very core. And with a new season on its way soon, the very next month to be exact, one just has to watch it soon. Number 5. World Trigger. Getting bullied as the transfer student in a shonen setting isn't a start we're unfamiliar with at all. However, what came next for Yuma Kugo was the least we were expecting, no? With neighbors and the Border Defense Agency at it for ages now, seeing a humanoid from the other side was the last thing Osamu wanted to witness that day. With Toei Animation going out of its way to shoot down a masterpiece in its making, you know the scores lie when you see them digits pop up on your screen. Plus, with the sequel out as well, it's the perfect time to bridge the gap between the two seasons and get to the binge, since this one isn't like the others when it comes to the episode count. Number 4. Star Driver. With names that are ready to make you feel dizzy in a heartbeat, Star Driver doesn't tone down even a bit when it comes to the squads and the objectives that make Star Driver, Star Driver. With the Glittering Crux hoping to gain full mastery over the stone behemoths by destroying the Seal Maidens, and Takuto harboring a secret of his own while being surrounded by all the faces that make up the Glittering Crux Brigade, the show's about to get real interesting, with all these secrets and mysteries being revealed to each and every one of you when it comes to the Glittering Crux and the Seal Maidens and of course, Takuto himself. To be honest, I think the fights are a strong point of the show and that alone makes it worth the watch. Number 3. Tokyo Ravens. With the Japanese trying to pull a fast one during this anime's Second World War with the Onmyoto magic, the trick sure backfired on the land of the rising sun, huh? However, with the magic now a much more refined and safe technique to practice today, Harutora sure is jealous, since with Bakutora being what people address to him as the most, he isn't the luckiest person out there, right? But with words making him remember the promise he made to a girl in the past, he isn't hesitant at all to assist Natsume when something similar surfaces, and makes them smell the destruction that's on its way soon. The way they twisted the plot later on in the show was exactly what cemented the show as something I don't want to count out. Number 2. Luck and Logic. If you think animes without any sense or logic, then this one's a must-watch for you. With the Another Logic Counter Agency, or ALCA, from the human world of Sepia employing logicalists to form these relations with aliens, the anime sure taking combat to a whole other level. However, Yoshichika Tsurugi, having lost his powers after an incident in the past, it isn't hard to distinguish him from a normal random person out there, and that for sure sucks. But Athena is here to help Yoshichika, and with him joining the crew soon after. Logicalists give logic a whole nother meaning in this series that's complicated enough to make you drop it on your first run, but give it a shot. Number 1. Classroom of the Elite.
D クラスは終わりかもしれないね。平田、頼みたいことがあるんだが。
With you belonging to the very bottom of the food chain in a school with all kinds of rich kids walking around every other corner, you can either be a tryhard, compensating to his very limit, or just be putting up a zombie mask to fool every other face that's a part of that student body. Classroom of the Elite tells us the story of one of the most unique protagonists modern anime has come up with, Aya no Koji. Schemes, plots, conspiracies, and just girls being girls in this anime, where Assassination Classroom comes back to make its bottom class concept hit everyone once again. It's for sure one of the shows that deserve a sequel the most.